you are looking at a one-way ticket to the afterlife. Welcome to my channel. Here are the 6 most realistic ways that you could become a digital immortal. First, we have mind uploading. This is the most common vision of digital immortality, taking the entirety of your consciousness and transferring it into a digital format. How does this work? Well, first your brain would need to be completely mapped. Every single neuron and its connection to other neurons would need to be identified and logged. Then an artificial intelligence would be created to simulate that exact pattern of neural activity. Voila! You have uploaded your consciousness into a computer. Now your AI doppelganger can interact with the physical world through robotic limbs, neural links, or even your own preserved body. But what if you don't want to wait until your mind can be uploaded? Enter neural preservation. Companies like Alcor believe that cryonics, the practice of freezing humans upon their death, is just a temporary measure. One day, nanotechnology will allow us to repair the cryogenically frozen brain and upload the person into a new body or AI. Until then, they're happy to preserve your brain in liquid nitrogen for a small fee, around $200,000. What about those who want to ensure their consciousness is digitalized without actually dying? There is always option 3, AI cloning. This involves using advanced AI to create a digital avatar that perfectly mimics your personality, memories, and even speech patterns. An example is the AI program Project December, which used over 100 hours of video and audio data from a single individual to train an AI to clone them. Though not yet perfected, it's only a matter of time before these digital clones become indistinguishable from the real thing. But even if the technology to preserve or upload human consciousness doesn't exist yet, there is still option for social media legacy. Facebook and Google are already using AI to let people interact with their deceased loved ones' digital profiles. In some cases, these interactions can be incredibly lifelike, with the AI generating responses that are indistinguishable from the person on the other side. It may not be the same as interacting with the real thing, but it's the closest thing we have to digital immortality right now. If uploading your consciousness into an artificial substrate sounds too easy, then perhaps you'd prefer option 5, whole brain emulation. This is a controversial technique sometimes referred to as copy and transfer. The entire brain is scanned at a microscopic level and then duplicated in a computer simulation. The original brain is then placed into stasis, while the digital copy is allowed to continue living in the simulation. This raises a lot of questions. If 2 versions of you are experiencing life, which one is the real one? What happens to the original brain in stasis? And how do you make sure that the digital copy has the same experiences and memories as you do? Okay, we've talked about uploading your consciousness into a computer, preserving your brain for future revival, creating an AI replica of yourself, and interacting with the digital ghosts of loved ones past. But what if the key to digital immortality lies in merging with technology? Enter biocomputing mergers. Neuralink Type BC could potentially act as a bridge between our biological consciousness and digital consciousness. By interfacing directly with the brain, these devices could allow us to control computers with our thoughts and download our thoughts into machines. It may not be a complete digital upload, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. Even if we assume that digital immortality is possible, there are still plenty of legal and ethical debates to be had. Who owns the rights to a digital consciousness? Can it be bought and sold? And is a digital consciousness alive? These are the kinds of questions that will need to be settled before digital immortality becomes a reality. But what about religion? Does digital immortality mean that the soul is nothing more than a computer program? What happens to the soul after it's been uploaded? And is it possible to achieve an afterlife in cyberspace? These are the kinds of questions that theologians and philosophers will need to grapple with in the years to come. Finally, there's the hard problem of qualia. Philosophers have long debated whether it's possible to digitize subjective experience. If I upload my consciousness into a computer, will I really be having the same experience as I do now? Will I still feel the warmth of the sun on my skin, or the pain of a paper cut? Or will all of that be lost in the translation? For now, we simply don't know the answer to these questions. But that won't stop us from trying. There are a number of startups working on ways to preserve and upload human consciousness. Nectome, Humai, and Netcom are just a few of the companies racing to develop the technology needed to make digital immortality a reality. The question is, will you be able to afford it? Nectome, for example, charges $10,000 for a cryopreservation package, which includes brain scanning and 100 years of storage. That's a lot of money. But if the alternative is death, then maybe it'll be worth it for a lot of people.